No, it's not. There's all magic. There's nothing
to see here.
Nothing to see here, is there? Nothing to goddamn dilly wahoo see. Milan's here.
We're very much a no hands podcast.
What
a scene done now.
No.
It's lucky this is the...
God, I don't want to see a Japanese man take on American sushi. I don't want to be doing that. That's not what I require right now.
It's a good job that you can just see that picture, because I just had to watch an American man take on sushi.
We didn't take on... It was comparing and contrasting sushi. Don't have to do that now. This is it.
We're in.
Are we in? Should we go for it?
Leave it on.
Should we go for it?
Leave it on there for a little.
All right. I'll just show one more picture.
We're gonna change seamlessly.
Yes.
It's gone wrong.
It hasn't gone wrong. It's gone unbelievably right. Look at this. This is a cheetah. Is what this is. I didn't have to explain that. This is my favourite birthday present so far. It is a cheetah. Look at the detail of that cheetah. It's lovely. Carl, you loving that? Yeah, of course you are. How could you not look at that cheetah? Come on.
Is that, or is that not the best cheetah you've ever seen?
I think it's the best start we've ever had to a Ramble.
100%.
100%. The words of Joe Rogan, 100%.
Yeah, I'm all over that.
100%. All right, let's go. Do you want to mention anything else here? We got everything set up here. We're good. Put your top back on, then we can start. All right?
Yeah, no one needs to see.
Yeah, no one needs to see that. It's not professional, is it? Really? It's not on that. All right, and let's go. Oh, someone's hand. No, it's my hand. It's gonna shame you then. All right, we doing this?
Yeah, go on.
All right, we're doing this. All right.
Oh, we're in.
Hello.
Focused?
We're in. Hey. Noise.
We're in.
Noise. Lots of noise. Hello, everyone. Thanks. Welcome. The artwork which was on show then was fantastic artwork. It was a cheetah, and it was a football picture, which was because we chat about football and other nonsense.
We likes the footballs.
We does the footballs thing. We do a footballs talk, don't we? Yeah, it's a bit of footballs, isn't it?
Yeah, we talks about footballs. Them's their footballs.
Lots of footballs, because there won't be much footballs for much longer, will there?
No.
Oh, hang on, there'll be a World Cup, wouldn't there?
Oh, we got a World Cup. You wait till you see what we got.
We're potentially going to Russia as well. Potentially, yeah.
Waiting on a sponsorship deal.
Just waiting on a big sponsorship deal. It'll be fine. Big sponsorship deal coming through. Then we'll be all the way in that St. Petersburg.
We're going to be talking them footballs in St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg. Okay, let me just do an intro here. And hello, welcome. This is number 35 of the FIFA Ramble, right here, right now. I'm joined with Mr. Rory Calhoun. Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Now we're cooking on gas here, aren't we? Now we're cooking on gas. So I was just telling our peoples that we're close to going to the old Russia.
We are.
Watch the old footballs in the old Russia.
Very exciting news.
Is that what you're saying?
We are waiting on our sponsorship deal.
Just waiting for a phone call or facsimile to come through, then we're there.
We're there.
Hello the St. Petersburgians. Hello the Moscowins.
We're all over it.
Gonna go there.
We're going to be global.
We're going to be going there. But it's very tough times there.
Yeah,
very tough times. For a liberal man like yourself, it's very tough.
It is. It's going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult. Mm-hmm. I mean, these faces, Russia, on our own, you know exactly what they're thinking.
Good golly, Miss Molly. So that's a potential thing in the pipeline. Apart from that, though, right here, right now, you just got us talking about the footballs. Just kind of talking about the footballs. What are we chatting about the footballs today? Do you see what I did there?
Yeah, I did. I like that.
Because you can't say champions without saying championes, can you?
No, you can't.
Is championes a word which has been made to fit into a song which shouldn't be there? And it doesn't make any sense. What's a championes? Is that a Spanish version of champions?
I've never thought about that. CHAMP-I-O-NES.
CHAMP-I-O-NES.
Oh, it's gone again.
He'll go all the time. I like the...
It's constantly going.
We got a broken light here, and we're having fun with it. So you have
We
to deal
will be
with that.
either really well lit or really poorly lit for you live viewers. But, you know, either way, again.
It's the luck of the draw. It's the way we prefer it. Low quality production value is where it's at.
Low quality production. But I watched a video of someone setting up their own podcast, and he was talking through his kit, and he legitimately spent probably 20 grand.
Oh, we don't do like that, do we?
20 grand on kit. Do you know what I mean? What we spent?
Oh, I bet it look beautiful though.
Nothing. We've got a lamp. Sorry. I'll let you behind the curtain.
Yeah.
I'm showing you that there's actually a rabbit in the hat all along.
Come on now.
Never mind.
We spend at least 10 grand on this setup.
10 grand. Well, if
We're
that's
not just in a room, in a flat.
Deal,
we're not doing.
We genuinely, we've got a sponsorship deal coming in, and we may be going to Russia.
It's either going to be.
Steve.
It's either going to be chipsticks, right, or Wolf Cola.
Don't tell them who the sponsors are.
I might have messed that up.
We're waiting on the email from Guatemala.
So
those juju berries.
And I do love Wolf Cola.
Yeah,
the made-up cola brand.
Wolf Cola.
Satisfying.
Made up. It's the third most popular cola deal in Peru. It's the third most popular cola in Peru, and they may be sending us to Russia.
So we're just waiting on that.
Get ready for the World Cup.
Hello, Russia. We'll see you there for the World Cups, for the footballs, is what we'll say. We're going to talk about our wonderful weekend of football.
We've had a very good weekend.
Oh, it's been very productive, hasn't it?
We've had a weekend.
If you've not seen, have a look on our social media channels and this newfangled on the connecting, and you'll see where we've been because we detailed it quite a lot.
Yeah,
we had men across the field everywhere, didn't we? To Wembley, to Madame Tussauds, we saw some footballers there, Mr. Pele.
Yeah, we met Pele. We met Cristiano Ronaldo. And we met Bobby Moore, confusingly. He was carrying the World Cup around with him, aloft. Looked very good.
It was lovely, wasn't it?
Very good.
And if you look on the old Instagram stories, you'll see where we've been as well. We've been adventuring to football lands afar.
Been to Wembley this weekend. We went to Wembley, saw Man City versus
Spurs Man City at the Wembley.
And the Wembley.
That was great to see. You'll see that detailed fully on the Instagram.
Been to the old YouTube offices in London.
Ooh,
yeah,
central.
Been good.
So we've done that because we've had a wonderful weekend of football, and we've watched football. What's your favourite footballs you've watched on the weekend?
My favourite football game that I watched on the weekend was either Ajax PSV, which is very good, or PSG Monaco. Wolves Birmingham was good. I
did. Did you see that red card?
Yeah.
Did you see who was it? Lost possession. You could see in slow motion, and he was just there going. And then he took a swipe and he hugged the guy who got sent off. Who was it who got sent off? That lad at the back. And he came over and hugged him and just said, "It's not you, it's me."
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It was a good game. Wolves Birmingham was enjoyable. I did like that. PSG Monaco though was something else.
Which is what I was going to get to. Was it your man Cavani?
Cavani.
Is he good? Is he a good footballer? Is he good at the footballs?
For me, as we've talked about before, Edinson Cavani is the best centre forward in world football. He's unbelievable. It
was a bullet header, that wasn't it?
Absolute bullet header.
It's a bullet header. Have a look. We'll stick it on. We'll put it on in a bit. It was a bullet header. It was well good. But we're going to be discussing that. We're going to discuss some Wolves, PSV, City, Man City. After I wouldn't say Man United choked, did they? They didn't. It's been a sort of gagging season.
Yeah, it's actually been more of an enjoyable season than it has been for like the 4 years before it. To be fair, as a Man United fan, it's been difficult watching sometimes, but worse. Yeah, exactly. It's just one of them. We're second. We're second. We're above Liverpool. We've got a game in hand.
It's all irrelevant now.
We're really above Liverpool now. I think we're not. I think we're third. But we've got a game in hand anyway, regardless. It's all irrelevant. Man City have won them leagues.
It's all irrelevant now, isn't it?
They've won all of them.
Yeah, it's all done.
Yeah, Harry Claim. That's a slip.
Harry Claim.
Harry Claim.
That's a. How would you say that? I'm going to say a Freudian slip. That's brilliant.
Perfect slip.
Write that down. Right,
Harry Claim.
Harry Claim.
Harry Claim's on it. He's already...
Harry Claim.
Harry Claim is
do you know
the
what we could
2017-18 Premier League champion. He's also the Ligue 1 champion, the Eredivisie champion.
Should we do a little knock up where there's a blame, there's a claim?
Yeah.
Harry Claim.
Patent pending. Patent pending. Right. Should we talk football? I like that.
We're not talking football. We're talking football.
We are. I mean, look, we haven't actually recorded anything. We're just using this as a tool.
We're not. We love everyone on this particular...
We love everyone on Facebook, but if you could go subscribe to us on iTunes...
Have a look on the iTunes, because guess what? We're on iTunes now.
On iTunes,
you can listen to it on your car and everything. You can listen on your car, you can listen to it on the go, listen on the tube if you like.
Imagine that. You're sat on the tube and you're listening to me and him in your ear holes talking about footballers with hairy legs.
That'll be later on, because I'm not content. Yeah, but that's just later on.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Are you happy with that?
Oh my God, well, I'm happy with the lighting now. We're better. That'll keep coming on.
Are you honestly happy with that, what we got back?
No.
No, it was great.
It was good.
It was a good start.
It was a great start, but we need more contributions from you people of the internet.
Yeah.
We need to know why modern footballers are all like dolphins. Why...
Or smooth porpoise.
Yeah, smooth porpoise. What? There's no...
It's not just the why. It's why I'm interested. Like I want to cut into like there's probably a decent enough reason to do that, right? But I want to know the inner workings of it, because being a thinking man, I want to know like how often. I want to know the methods and techniques. I want to like the how frequent they do it. Do they wax each other? Is it a thing? Is that all they're waxing?
Do they wax or do they shave? Now, this is a question.
They must, but it's too smooth.
This is a question that you don't get.
Every day. You'd be like a yeti.
You would. That would grow back. Astonishing. You don't get this from any other. You don't get this from the Telegraph's football podcast. We need you to answer the question: how often does Lionel Messi shave his legs?
Should we drop trowel? I mean anchor.
Let's drop trowel.
Let's drop anchor. We'll drop anchor.
Yeah.
We'll drop anchor.
What are we dropping it on?
We're dropping it on hairy footballers. We're getting into it now.
Footballers.
Oh, it's not really, is it? It's not really hairy footballers, is it? It's just unhairy. Smooth footballers.
We'll just do a short one, I reckon, this one.
Do you think?
Yeah, this one should be.
We'll do like this.
Just how it goes. Yeah. Right, we're just dropping anchor.
You lead this one, aren't you?
Wow, Steve, straight in. Straight in. There's no holding him back.
Steve,
power's on it.
Jesus.
Power's on it. There's no need for that.
Come on.
There's no need for that. There could be children watching. There's not children watching.
I don't know. I've never heard that expression. But
no.
All right, come on. Let's
maybe later, but that would definitely be something you'd have to pay a premium to watch. We ain't giving that free on Facebook.
You run this one, we're talking to.
Okay.
Try that.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
go.
So last week we asked you all to send us in photos of hairy footballers. We had quite a lot of contributions back, so we appreciate everyone who got in touch with us and sent us photos. But to be honest, we're not that happy. We got sent pictures of Rory Delap and his Stoke days with his shirt up as he's rubbing the football in his shirt as he used to, getting ready for that massive throw in, and he's got a tiny little snail trail on the bottom.
It's embarrassing, frankly
that's
embarrassing.
That's not a hairy footballer.
We need to up this game, right? I not only want to see hairy footballers, right? I want to anyone who's got any stories or how they do things. Do they wax? Do they shave? How often do they go? Do they frequent a spare place? Do they veet? Do they do it? I don't know. Do they just shave the areas we can see, like ladies on like ladies on a night out?
Have they got what would be the equivalent? I don't know if you've seen it, but when some pro cyclists, when they're tan,
have they got it?
They've got tanned bottoms to their legs and their forearms, but the rest of them are white.
So the point being,
Casper.
guys, we need to see evidence. Otherwise, we're going to have to scour the Greek leagues, because I can't see any goddamn thing here. I need to see why. I want to understand why they're hairless.
Yeah, why are footballers, modern footballers, why are they like naked mole rats?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
It's a number of players spinning their grave, isn't they?
They would.
What would Cloughie say?
Brian Clough would not stand by and let his players wax. That wouldn't happen.
Even Charlie Adam, even Scott Brown.
Oh,
he's a hairless man.
Scott Brown. Now,
terrible.
Imagine being Scott Brown's wife. You're having a hard enough job as it is, just being married to that clown.
So,
but imagine having to shave his back because he's playing Rangers. Oh.
Guys, do research. Send us any images of any footballer with hair. The best we've had is Bernardo Silva, which we've been in contact with.
Very good.
We've been in contact with Bernardo, and he's happy we brought it up because he considered himself like a man's man.
He was
well happy.
Brought to our attention.
Even Bernardo Silva was surprised that he was at the top of the list. Top of the list, we got 5 players, one including Blumin, Rory Delap, circa 2010. So it's not good enough. But the point is, we're not finding them. So are all footballers smooth now?
Are all footballers smooth? There is Bernardo Silva, a little bit of hair on his leg, which, to be honest, I've got more eyebrow hairs than he has on his legs. That's the best we've got. Yeah. Internet, you need to up your game. Tweet us at the FIFA Ramble. Tweet us your pictures of hairy footballers.
Instagram, send a message. We'll stick it on.
We want Michael Jackson at the end of the Thriller video. That's the level.
We want Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf.
That's what we want. We want some hairy man footballers right now because we're fed up of Dolphins.
We're sick to death of Dolphins.
Otherwise, do you know what's going to happen? As an experiment, you're going to shave one of your legs.
Yeah,
and do like a cross between.
I'm glad this got brought up. He's talking about dolphins. All right, I get it. Yeah, fair enough. I agree. Apparently, if you don't show us a decent amount of hairy footballers, he's told me tonight that I have to shave one of my legs.
Yep, that's true.
That's the thing that's happening. Apparently live.
It's gonna be live. We're gonna, if we get into contact with maybe the secret footballer knows. Get him, call him up after this.
I'll ring him.
Then he'll say, if it's Veet, we're gonna Veet one of your legs live on stream. Is what we're gonna do. But we need to get to the bottom of this because it's getting out of hand now. We're going to do another call of action later because it's just not good enough. It's not giving me what I require.
No. And
I wouldn't consider myself a bear either. No. But
we've barely seen a cub.
We've seen nothing.
Nothing.
But anyway, that's. Look, I don't want to get bogged down in that. We're going to talk a bit more football now. Man City. Did you watch that game?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. I travelled back from London at that point, but I was exhausted from
I'm still
London.
Exhausted.
Yeah,
London generally.
London wears it out of me.
Yeah.
So no, I kind of had it on, but I watched the Liverpool game.
I didn't see that
before it.
It's good.
It was all right. They did what they needed to. And then I missed Man City. The only things I saw of Man City were the videos that you were putting up.
Yeah. Okay. Unquestionably Mohamed Salah. Best.
Like literally at this point, I can't speak to people who do not think Mo Salah is hands down the player of the year.
And do you know why I like his work?
I don't need these people in my life. Why do people? De Bruyne, I believe, we've talked about it before. I believe De Bruyne is the best player in the Premier League. I think he's
the puppet master. Do you call him Geppetto?
Geppetto. Look, Kevin Geppetto. For me, he's the best footballer in the Premier League. However, this season, the player of the year is Mo Salah. There's no denying it. Mm-hmm. And it's now a point of, I'm now asking new people. That's going to be one of my questions that I ask them. You know, if you're wearing socks but it gets warmer and you want to put a pair of sandals on, what do you do with the socks? Unless the answer is take them off, I don't need them in my life. Who is the player of the season? De Bruyne, Mo Salah, or Harry Kane? If they say Harry Kane, the immediate response should be to punch him in the face. If they say De Bruyne, cut him out your life.
Harry Kane.
Yeah, get Harry Kane. No, I mean he's going to claim it. He's going to charge up on that stage and shoulder barge Mo Salah away. But if anyone but Mo Salah is player of the season, in your opinion, then you're just wrong.
Do you know what I like about Mo Salah? Positive discrimination. Positive stereotyping. The likes you don't see. I haven't seen that in quite some time. For a Muslim man to win over English football generally, it's a lovely thing to see.
Yeah,
I wonder how many kids will be named Mo Salah after the season.
Yeah,
the same way they said about Fernando. When, El Toro's.
The amount of kids in Liverpool who they're now going to have baby Mo. They've got their middle kid as Fernando.
I think it's great. Yeah, their middle kid is Fernando. Louis.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of Louis running around. I wonder how many RAFAs there are. Well, that night in Istanbul.
Probably maybe some Jurgens after this season.
Yeah, it might be a couple of Jurgens. There's probably more Robbie and Stevens. Depressing.
There's enough Stevens, isn't there? Or Gerrard.
How many Sander Westervelds are there? That's what I really want to know.
Well, you know.
Mo Salah, any day, exactly. Mo Salah is the player of the year. And if anyone thinks otherwise, they're entitled to their opinion, but they're wrong. Mo Salah's the player of the year. There's no doubt.
All right, okay. All right, that's fine. I don't want to get you too riled up about it, but Harry Kane is the overall.
Right, Harry Kane will claim it anyway.
He's claiming that anyway. What are you saying about Danny Mills? What are you listening to Danny Mills for? Do you like Danny Mills?
No, what I saw, I just thought something else that rocks my boat. We'll talk about it because it's related. Can we have hairy footballers from the past? If so, Trevor Hockney could be the hairy footballer you're looking for. Trevor Hockney, we're all over this. Steve,
send us a picture.
Send us a picture. Tag it below.
Yeah. Send us a picture because we're going to target pro footballers of this era. But I would like to see a hairy footballer. What
we'd like to do is do a compare from what they were back in the day, and then we can compare them to now. So you've got Bernardo Silva with wisps. We want full Team Wolf. A
hairy chest would be fine.
Hairy chest would be fine.
Hairy arm, just one arm.
Just one arm. Even if
I was going to have to shave him to see if there's any differential.
That's what literally 50% of me.
Yeah. It'd be like the lady boys, like there. And then
I got enough hair on my chest. I don't need it shaved. Yeah. The one thing that...
What gets you go?
Gets my go. I'll talk about
Where's your go?
Harry Kane has been nominated for Young Player of the Year.
Still young.
Bullshit.
Still young.
We're not lit again. I turned the light off then with my anger. That's nonsense. Harry Kane's 24.
That's not young, is it?
No, but he shouldn't be in the Young Player of the Year. He should not be. Him and Ryan Sessegnon should not be in the same category. Harry Kane has now been a regular.
Harry Kane is.
He's been a regular Premier League player for a number of seasons. At 24 years old, the cut-off should be like 21. Nonsense. What are your thoughts on Alderweireld going to Man United? I haven't heard the rumour, to be fair.
Well, to be honest with you, I was at the Spurs game and they needed something. But saying that, Sanchez was great.
Sanchez is a great
Sanchez, player. Bridge the gap because you've got an aging Jan Vertonghen.
Yeah.
You've got an aging Jan Vertonghen who can't keep up. Sanchez was everywhere that game. He was everywhere. He made so many clearances. He made so many blocks. He basically did a lot.
You can also see that his impact, the impact on him leaving, has shown this season. Across in the old EU.
Alderweireld, I liked Alderweireld.
Alderweireld is a great centre back.
Atletico Madrid.
I genuinely haven't heard the rumour.
Yeah, but it's interesting. But I think he can play at a high level than Man United. No offence taken.
He probably could. I know what you mean. He could play. He could easily rock up at Barca.
He'd slot in a Barca.
Yeah, he would. It would be a great signing for United. It would be a superb. Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves is the best. Sorry, we've done
that. Yeah, you just stay to the plan.
But you said Ruben Neves.
Yeah.
Ruben Neves is like one of my favourite players now. That's like my code word.
Yes,
if you say Ruben Neves,
you've just triggered him there.
It's the exact opposite of if you're having kinky time and you say banana and everything stops. I've
never seen him so happy.
You say Ruben Neves, and I mean, I'm full throttle.
So okay, let's mate. All right, let's talk about Wolves.
Right, we have a structure here.
Yeah,
let's stick to the structure.
No. Let's get stuck into Wolves.
Right, what we're going to do now? We're going to record the unlike Jose. Yeah, okay. What we're going to do? He's just jumped Ruben Neves out there. I'm loving that.
All right, just do a Ruben Neves.
No, I'm going to like that. I'm going to... You know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to... How do I do the...
What are you doing?
I want to love it.
Oh, you have to...
There you go. Have some love.
Just dishing that out.
Right, what we're going to do now... We're now going to record something, so we now need to pretend we're not live, basically, and just record it. The audio.
Go on, do it.
Yes, Martin.
Come on, all right.
One thing before we record. If you're not already liking the page, please go give us a like. It'll be massively appreciated.
Or
Follow
join
us
our
on Twitter.
podcast.
Join the podcast.
Have a podcast. It's
We're
free.
on iTunes. We're on Twitter at the FIFA Ramble. Just search the FIFA
Instagram,
Ramble.
we've got everything going on. But yeah, we've got a podcast
Instagram,
now.
Twitter, everything. We got iTunes,
Right.
the FIFA Ramble.
Drop anchor. Come on. Come on.
So,
Wolverhampton Wanderers. Who's your favourite
Wolverhampton
player?
Wanderers. Right, my favourite player at Wolves is Ruben Neves. It's getting more and more obvious, or it has been getting more and more obvious as the season's worn on, that he's just too good for that league. He is...
But that's the business model that's put in place. By,
I mean, we've talked about Wolves and how them bringing in Mendes as an advisor,
pushing the boundaries of their legal requirement.
Well, they brought him in as an advisor, and then part of that, part of his role and being an advisor at that club, was to advise on which players to bring in. Now, if those players happen to be clients of him, then so be it. That what they've done is very clever. They've gone about transfers in a new way, and they've been really clever about it, and it's worked. It's worked, and I applaud it.
Yeah,
honestly, do I think
the business model works? That goal that Ruben Neves scored, they've been sneaking lots of 1-0s recently, just to point across. The one he slammed in from 35 yards.
Oh, it's unbelievable! Unbelievable! If you haven't seen it, YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll
put a thing up as well.
What I would suggest,
magical
as well, as amazing as that was, and now all of a sudden, people who like football but don't watch the Championship have now suddenly been banging on about Ruben Neves. We've been banging on about Ruben Neves since the summer. Since before the season started, we've been talking about how good Neves is. Youngest ever captain in the Champions League, I believe. I think he still holds that record. He's phenomenally good.
He's Champions League level, yeah.
Rather than just watch that goal, which then immediately got him on Sky Sports News, and everyone and his uncle was talking about it. Go YouTube Ruben Neves passing and watch the full range that he gives. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like watching, honestly, and there's no hyperbole here. It's like watching Scholes in his prime on the ball. It's like watching Zidane on his prime. In his prime, he's incredible. And
because of that, Wolverhampton Wanderers will be in the Premier League this year.
They will be in the Premier League, and I cannot
because of
wait.
the business model put in place, and because they've been able to showcase those footballers, those players like Ruben Neves,
and Diogo and Jota has now signed permanently. He will sign in the summer, permanent deal. I cannot wait to watch Wolves in the Premier League. A lot of those sides are going to be in for a shock when Wolves get up there, because they're going to sign more players. They're really good already. I genuinely think they could be a force to be reckoned with next season. I really do. I think they are.
Do you know what other squads I've been impressed by this year in the Championship?
Yeah.
Derby.
Yeah, Derby have done all right.
Have you seen Derby's
squad?
I'll tell you. I'll just tell you about the squad that they've got, because on paper it is really impressive.
Hang on. Who is it? Well, they lost Will Hughes, who was one of my favourite Derby players. Yeah.
I was discussing. Do you know how old he is?
I'm going to go 20.
No, he's well. He's 22.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think he was that old.
Yeah, fascinating. Fascinating. Right, let me just tell you about the squad that we got here, because it is absolutely impeccable. Yeah, where are we? Where is it? Here we are. Right, I'll tell you the squad.
Neves is filth. He's still talking about Neves.
All right, now look, you're gonna.
I like Martin. Martin's my favourite part of this podcast.
You're gonna anger him up there. Right.
So my God.
From the back, right? Derby. Yeah, you've got Scott Carson in goal. You've got Chris Baird. You've got Curtis Davies. You've got Alex Pearce. You've got Andre Wisdom. Then
Andre Wisdom. I like Andre Wisdom.
Exactly. I thought that.
Yeah, I do like Wisdom.
I thought I'd get you going. Tickle the old trout. Then it's got Tom Hiddleston. Then you've got Joe Ledley.
Oh, I forgot Ledley was there.
Yeah, and then you've got Tom Lawrence, Cardiff City's own Tom Lawrence, Welsh international Tom Lawrence. Yeah. Then you've got
ex-Man United.
Then you've got Vydra, who I've rated for 3 years because I thought he was brilliant at Watford when he was playing. You've got Vydra. Then you've got Andres Wiseman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you've got D Nugent up front. Now, and then in the Cammy Jerome as well in the mix as well as a replacement for David Nugent. Hell of a team, that, isn't it?
That's a great side.
Come on, like on paper that would seem like okay, like with the likes of like that attack, like because I thought Weisman was phenomenal at Aston Villa like when he was there, and I thought he was destined for bigger things. But like now, like I think that's an incredible way of doing it, and they're just outside of the zone of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of games to go, and it might get a bit spicy in there. But I do hope to hell that Cardiff City comes through, because if Cardiff City's in the Premiership, we'll unleash Neil Warnock on everyone, and it'll be lovely.
Cardiff City will just...
Cardiff City, and it looks like Swansea will stay in.
If Cardiff get promoted, what will happen? It will be the equivalent of saying Candyman 3 times in a mirror.
Yeah.
Because Neil Warnock's just going to come in and he's going to cause chaos. I reckon we could get at least 4 months out of him.
The press, I love that as well.
Yeah, I reckon 4 months is what we can achieve.
He's our Harry Redknapp, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is what he is. But yeah, I can't wait to see that. But you were writing off Swansea a little while ago, if I remember. You said there's no hope. You said they're dead and buried. They're gone. You said they're past it. They're done. They come up back from the dead, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
CC's done one, hasn't he? Carval?
He's done really well.
He's done a little miracle there in Swansea.
Darren wants to know about Memphis Depay, and he did ask really nicely. And then
Memphis has proven that he's an absolute brilliant player. Yeah. Memphis has done phenomenal things, and he's proven he's done it the hard way. But I respect that even more because he's kept solid and he's destroying that French league.
He's been brilliant. We've talked about the French league. I did a little podcast this morning about Ligue 1. I love Ligue 1. It's one of my favourite leagues. I didn't used to like it. I sort of underestimated it. And then this season, I properly watched it. Obviously, unfortunately, it was... Well, not unfortunately, but it was Neymar, really. The Neymar thing got me intrigued because I always wrote it off. I've always loved Cavani. It does help that I now have BT Sport, so I can watch it. So that does help.
Found it.
But
you had it all along?
Yeah, I had it all along. I've also got Sky Sports Premier League, which I didn't realise I had. Anyway, Memphis Depay has done amazing in the league. He's done phenomenal, but he's always been phenomenal. Now, being a United fan myself, there's 2 players who I look back in recent times and think, oh, what could have happened? One is Depay, and one is Di Maria. Now, Di Maria was played out of position, was asked to track back, was not allowed to be the player that he should be and could be. And Depay just didn't work. It just didn't work out. That's the sad truth of it. But I can see a way back into the Premier League for him. If he carries on the way he's going, there's no reason why he couldn't play in the Premier League. People seem to think that once you have a shot at the Premier League, and for whatever reason it doesn't work out, you can't come back. It doesn't mean just because you had one try at the Premier League and you weren't successful immediately that you can't be successful again, or that you're a worse player than people think or anything. It's nonsense.
Do you know
There's more to football than just the Premier League.
Do you know else is if not one of the best young players in League 1 at the moment? Florian Thauvin, the Newcastle flop. He's scored 17 goals this year.
Yeah, he's been really good. I've seen him play a couple of times. He's in for
the France squad as well. He's the potential of him actually getting in the World Cup squad.
They played they played Monaco. They played Monaco, I believe it was, and they were losing. He came off on about 65 minutes, and he put his coat over his head, and he just sat there, and he sat the entire rest of the game with his coat covering his head, and he was like, it was because he couldn't put up with the shame of it. He's been phenomenally good. There's a load of players though in the French leagues who have been really good. You got I know he plays for PSG, but you got Kimpembe at centre back who will take over from Silva sooner rather than later.
It's a very interesting league for up and comers.
Lafont in goal. Lafont, I'm telling you, anyone who likes football, watch out for Lafont in goal at Toulouse. He's 18 and he starts week in, week out for Toulouse. he's been linked with Arsenal and Spurs over the last few months. He's already. There's talk of him coming into the French team.
So it is a hotbed. Should we get into? You saw the PSG Monaco game there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. They PSG destroyed at that point the reigning league champions. 7-1. They were 4-0 up after 28 minutes.
Outrageous, isn't it? They're just rampant.
They were Lo Celso, who's another young player who. I mean, if that nation get any more quality young players, it's just going to be unfair. Lo Celso got a brace.
An incredible thing. Okay, if we just move ever so slightly across Europe,
yeah,
we'll go to PSV.
Yeah, okay.
Who won the Eredivisie?
Yeah, PSV claimed it again. It was another game. PSG Monaco. It was first versus second, and if first won that game, they would claim the league. PSG did.
I didn't see that.
Battered Monaco, and it was a great game to watch. I watched the whole game, and it was brilliant. And I also watched PSG versus Ajax. Again, PSG were first, and what was interesting for me was PSV got the goal. Ajax changed formation. Philip Cocu, who's the PSG manager,
Old faithful,
little cult hero there, Cocu. He countered that and switched formation straight away. And they got their second goal. Then Ajax changed again, and then they got their third goal. Every goal that Ajax conceded was based off Cocu countering their change. Everyone. It was unbelievable. He was watching it, and he didn't just think, well, just keep trying, we'll keep plugging away. He saw what they did, and he countered it each time and just switch their players around. At one point, Ajax changed to having 3 at the back, and one of those 3 was, oh my God, what's it? Not Tolisso. Oh, their left back. I can't think of his name.
So it's just a constant state
Never
of
played
switching.
centre back. So Cocu doubled up their centre mids, moved one to Cam, and moved one of the playing as CDM, moved him into centre midfield. Got Cam to move forward, so they got their winger. So right winger, a Cam who was playing very tight to the line, and then the centre midfield pushing up in behind, almost into a Cam role. So when they attacked straight down the right flank because their left back's playing a centre back. He's never played centre back before. There's no width there because they weren't playing with a full back at that point. And you have 3 players running at open space. And then as they ran and they pulled everyone in, the centre midfield and the Cam pulled off. And immediately they're in space in the box. And they scored. It was incredible.
Oh, wow. Let's drop anchor. We'll just drop anchor a little bit.
Thanks for popping in, mate.
Yeah, appreciate it, mate. No worries. Done. Drop anchor because we're going to discuss a bit of Man City now.
Oh.
We're going to do it.
Which one are we doing as our long form one?
Yeah, just leave this. We'll see. This probably going to be 3 to 6 minutes anyway. So
yeah, let's just keep it going then.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, you start this one.
Yeah. All right, we're going to discuss a little bit of Man City at the moment. We're going to just go into it because guess what? They just won the Premier League. They won it. They won it outright. And it was a very interesting game. I was there. I saw them at Wembley play Spurs on the weekend. It was a strange atmosphere there because Spurs just did not get going for the first 35 minutes, and Man City just did absolutely dominate. And it was so fascinating to see that system in place of Sane and Sterling just boosting, just hugging those lines and causing all kinds of mischief. But if there's no fighting spirit in any team, they will just get annihilated. And like within those 2 minutes, they were 2-0 up. Like after the penalty as well, which was a penalty. It was a bit, but it was just relentless.
Who did they play at centre midfield? Spurs.
Spurs played Dyer apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, and Dembele.
Is Wanyama injured?
Wanyama wasn't playing because I don't know if he's injured, but he probably is.
Yeah.
But so they were sitting.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you had Eriksen trying to find a way. And Lamella, which I didn't think he made an impact because we're both Son fans, right?
Yeah, Son is.
And I think he's a big game player. I think he should have started because he caused all kinds of mayhem when he come on.
Surprised you, yeah.
He had 35 minutes to to work it.
Not
But I just the first 30 minutes, there was nothing going on.
But the way Spurs play, because with you got Son or Lamella or whomever, and then you got Dele Alli, Ericsson with Kane up top. So you're looking at a very central sort of cam with wide players.
Was shut out. There was nothing coming from Kane. That goal before half time was absolutely fortuitous.
Really. When you got Dembele and Dyer, then and if they're, for me, against Man City, obviously it does work for Spurs. In general, because it has done, time after time. But with Man City, for me, if you're playing two central midfielders who are basically playing CDMs, and you're asking them to shield the defence, but also then be the link to the attack. Ericsson, Ali, Son, Lamella, whoever they decide to play in those roles, they're going to play very high up to support Kane. But if the defence is being pushed back because they're constantly having to thwart attacks, then what's going to happen is Ericsson, Ali, Son, Lamella, they're going to have to drop further back into the space, and Kane's going to be left up on his own. I think it's a mistake to do that against Man City.
There was nothing coming from Kane. So, but what the fascinating thing was to see the Man City setup was how important and how well Fabian Delph's manoeuvred that left flank.
He's been something else.
He's for what he's given that system, he's just allowed to be a back three and then Kyle Walker, right? And then the first time I saw Laporte play as well. And Company just absolutely bossed it. He made that assist happen, right? Company. That was incredible. I was astonished to see that flighted ball come across, because he read that situation so well, and that ball was perfect. So anyway, to see that system at the back play gave Leroy Sané movement to run it there, and then it covers it. So it plays like a linchpin sort of system at the back, which is absolutely fascinating to see. The other thing I was really impressed about Man City was Ederson. He should get a lot of credit this season for being one hell of a keeper at the back. He was just gobbling up everything at the back. You could see it coming. He just did everything so well.
Pep Guardiola keeper as well, because he can play as a sweeper.
That's
keeper,
what he's looking to. That's what Bravo is missing. But saying that, he's a step ahead in the way Pep's been, to see that evolution of goalkeepers, to see what could fit, and boy, he's been well worth it. So to see that whole system in place, I'm excluding the likes of David Silva in midfield, Bernardo Silva when he come on, as well as our boy Jesus up front as well. It was such a fascinating system to see moves, and the way they're set up in blocks and the way they manoeuvre is really interesting to see. And they just sweat Spurs aside.
There's a certain way in there. Is obviously this team that have had the most success against them is Liverpool, and that's because I think Liverpool don't get enough credit for literally every single player in that side, and I mean every single one. When that
works, it works, and that's the roll of the dice where Jurgen Klopp rolls the dice.
It's such a risk to play any side anyway. When you look at the players Virgil van Dijk. We're both massive fans of Van Dijk. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's phenomenal centre back, because he's not scared to bring the ball out from the back.
Got that confidence.
I like Matip as well. I like Klavan. I think he's doing wonders. I think Lovren is actually improved. I think Lovren and Van Dijk have got the basis there to be a great pairing. And what they did against City was they weren't scared to push on. But with Spurs, it just almost felt like they were sitting back to try and defend so much that all you're doing is creating a cavernous space in the centre of the park.
You've got to give credit to how Liverpool reacted against that Man City team over two legs, because they just really ruined the flow of Man City at that place, because we all thought they would progress in Champions League and then they'd be vying for that Champions League. But the magic of Pep Guardiola to do the things that he's done for that team, and have you seen how many things that he's won in his managerial career right now? It's fascinating. So I think there should be a hell of a lot of credit given to Pep.
There's not
and
enough.
He showed a lot of love and a lot of appreciation
because of the money spent. There's not enough.
And we've had a question come in about they'll need to recruit more to strengthen. Every team's got to recruit more to strengthen at this level. That's the way it is.
You can't just sit back and not
exactly.
strengthen.
But to get those pep players, and believe me, there'll be a stack of CVs.
Well, there's rumours of Dybala.
There are, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, but like it's here nor there, is it? Like that type of rumour. But I think more credit should be given to Pep, and I was absolutely loving the fact that I saw that system live, because it's very, very high level.
You got a very
technical.
good vantage point as well to see the
oh,
shape
you
of
just
it,
saw the shape of the movement
Yeah.
and stuff, and the way they hit the left hand side. But yeah, more credit should be given to Pep and that like really thoughtful team that Pep's been set up, because he's a bit of a genius.
He's done well. It's honest, like any side, there's a lot of... They're not perfect. They've been found out, Wolves did keep them in the cup. Obviously, Wigan ended up knocking them out. There is that element. But for what he's done, I know he spent a lot of money doing it, but he's got a team playing a system.
Yeah.
And they're very good.
No one's bigger than the system. Like obviously, Aguero is a big time player.
I think Aguero could potentially move on this summer.
But it's because of what Pep's done. He's masterfully brought Jesus in and come up with another option, because he can't be overly reliant on one player. And that player, no matter how good he is, he's another level, isn't he? Aguero. But he's proven that you can do it, and if he needs to move on, he needs to move on. No one player is bigger than the team. No. As we saw a final adieu to Yaya Toure as well. He's brought on for 2 minutes, and I think that is just a thing of a good little send off.
Yeah,
because if a player gets but look, if a player's moving on in that way, if Yaya Toure probably should have been playing now if he didn't have his. I think he was a bigger than the team moment about a season and a half ago. No one player is bigger than the team. Pep's absolutely justified that decision, and he's shown the same with Aguero. Is all I think it is. A bit more of an ramble then, but it's just to touch base about the importance of a team mentality and a group of players. No matter how impressive and how expensive a team is, you need to make that function, and that's a real skill. And that's what Pep's
They need
done.
to work, don't they?
Totally.
It's there's more to it than just throwing money.
Yeah,
if that was the case, look, Chelsea would win everything every year. They would have. They didn't.
Man United are trying to follow that trend as well. Man United are trying to do it, but it's going to take a lot of time. And Mourinho has made a hell of good steps to get that in place. But it just takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of money, and it needs a system to work. And if it's a Pep system, I prefer a Pep system to a Jose Mourinho system. So yeah, talking about Man United.
Can we? Yeah, we'll talk about Man United, because then we can also bring West Brom into it. Yeah.
We've got a little bit of West Brom. It's just no big deal though, is it? It's the same way Arsenal, but you shouldn't be up in arms about it. Did you see the Arsenal team?
I watched the Arsenal game.
Yeah,
I saw all of it. Yeah,
nice to see Willock having a run out.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was experimental, because they are valuing the Europa League.
They are. It's just,
and you see that. You totally see that. So I don't think anyone's up in arms about Arsenal losing to Newcastle, because Rafa deserves a bit of credit as well. Yeah, Rafa deserves a lot of credit, because Newcastle don't spend money. They just don't. And if he's to do his job to a high level, then he wants the funding to get those type of players. If not, Rafa, as well as he's done a highly impressive job at Newcastle against a very high pressured environment. So I think he deserves a hell of a lot of credit for what he's done there.
The thing with Rafa Benitez, do you know, I'm actually going to... Same philosophy at Wolves with Nuno. Yeah, I can see that.
Last bit of Wolves now.
They're a great side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to save this, actually, and we'll anchor this.
Cool, right.
Rafa Benitez, he's now surely saved.
Rafa the magician. Yeah, what's he saved from? He can walk into any job.
He saved... Newcastle are now... They've got 41 points, so they're not going to get relegated. Southampton are now, I think they're 5 points off safety. So that
they're in trouble.
I'm very happy that on our Christmas/New Year predictions, I said Southampton to get relegated,
and they're playing Leicester next,
and they're looking likely to go down. But Rafa Benitez has got Newcastle on no money. Like,
Yep,
Ashley is not with. Ashley would rather spend 100 million on another set of gigantic Sports Direct mugs than he would signing players, because he's not interested. He's quite
Why is
happy.
Rafa there then?
He's quite happy. Ashley's would be quite happy for them. He'd rather them obviously stay in the Premier League because there's more money there. However, if they do go down to the Championship, he gets parachute. He's still getting parachute payments. They're still being paid for being relegated. And then when they come up, their promotion money, as everyone, Sky Sports want to say it's the £100 million game or whatever. That is in increments. That's over a course of the season or whatever. So he's still getting all this money in. They're going to stay up. He doesn't mind. He would rather
Just
bring in Kennedy on loan rather than actually.
Great.
Yeah, but they won't pay for him. Chelsea would happily sell him, but they won't pay the money that they want. He won't do it. But Rafa has taken all of this and the unrest with the fans, the lack of funds. There's no spending. Almost as though he's been mistreated by that owner and
he's been abused.
He has, and he's done it all and he's kept them safe. But you never see, you very rarely see Rafa Benitez linked with any of the top jobs. Now, if you go back through his records, Liverpool, he won the Champions League.
It would suit him.
Well, it's difficult. This is another thing, the other side of this argument, in that he's been at so many different clubs that it's almost as if his ties to those clubs will prevent him from getting jobs elsewhere. But at Liverpool, he did obviously a really good job. Phenomenal.
That, yeah.
They nearly won the league, and it was just that he went up against an Alex Ferguson Manchester United side.
He won the Champions League.
He won the Champions League with them. They did their little treble, a League Cup, FA Cup, and Champions League. So that's fine. Glad for them.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, at Chelsea, now he's not in tonight, we've got one of our long-term listeners, the Gormley Saurus, the official mascot of the FIFA Ramble. He's a massive Chelsea fan. He hates him, can't stand him, he thinks he was one of the worst Chelsea managers out there. Well, he still won the Europa League. He still won the Europa League for Chelsea when he was manager there. At Inter Milan, he had to follow Jose Mourinho. That's after doing the treble. So not only did he have to follow Jose Mourinho, he had to follow him after he'd already won the treble with them. That's a tough ask. At all of these clubs, he's done it. Obviously Valencia before Liverpool, he did really well. He's got an extremely good track record. Yet for some reason, when bigger jobs, not only in England but in Europe, come available, you never ever see him linked with them. I just find it a bit surprising.
Look, he's done great things. They're not going to spend. You can't say you're surprised by that with Newcastle, but I think those fans and everyone just deserve something to really boost
a massive club with top of the table football every year. I'd like to see Rafa get a little bit of appreciation for what he's done.
I think so. I'll do another one after this because I want to discuss a 7:45 kickoff, which is outrageous.
Especially on a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
No one needs that.
No one needs that. At Wembley. Imagine if Man City fans just going back home after that. Got up at 10:30. Like out of the ground.
Is that how we spell it? Can you Google that?
Is it E instead of an I?
Benitez. Can you be Googling this?
Yeah.
What does everyone think? Rafa Benitez. Yeah, I genuinely think Rafa Benitez could do a great job at Juve, at a club like that. But he was at Inter. I don't think they'd give it to him. I also think...
Doesn't he? No I.
Is it? No, it's an I.
Yeah, but not there.
No, so it's done that. So Benitez, it's that.
Mm-hmm. Weird when you say it 3 times.
Yeah.
Benitez.
I do think he could, do a great job. I'd like to see him get a much bigger profile job than Newcastle. No offence to Newcastle, but I just think he
You know what you're
deserves it.
getting from Newcastle, though.
To answer the previous question as well, with West Brom being relegated, would you sign any of their players? Depending on what club, my answer would probably still be no. I think Kieran Gibbs doesn't deserve to be playing in the Championship.
Johnny Evans, wouldn't you?
Johnny Evans, being a Man United fan, I think Johnny Evans has done a Ben Foster, almost weird considering the game that he had on the weekend, Ben Foster. But when Ben Foster was at Watford, he looked like an absolute world beater because he had to make more saves.
I think
Johnny Evans has looked better defending because he's had to defend more. You put him in a side, we've said this before, you put him like Gary Cahill. That's why we said with England, we believe that England going into the World Cup will be better off rather than Chris Smalling and Phil Jones and Gary Cahill. I know they're not, I'm not saying they're first choice at England.
Lascelles in there.
However, rather than those, put Lascelles, put Lewis Dunk.
Big Mac.
Yeah, Maguire. Put defenders in there who actually have to defend at their club.
Yeah,
now
Butler on a high level.
They could do, but they're more likely to actually go, we do this week in, week out. I'm one-on-one with a striker running at me more often. Like Lewis Dunk has to deal with a striker running at him one-on-one more often than Chris Smalling does. And what happens when Chris Smalling gets into that position? More than likely, he's going to screw it up. Lascelles and Dunk, especially, have been phenomenal this season. And I think that Johnny Evans is almost in that category. He has looked better. Being a Man United fan who watched him for years, week in, week out, Johnny Evans has looked much better at West Brom this season than the season before, than he ever did at United. And that's because he's being asked to defend more. And someone threw out to me when I argued that before. They went, oh yeah, but look at his tackling percentage has gone up. Well, yeah, of course it has, because he's being asked to make double the amount of tackles.
Yeah, I don't know when it comes. Like, I don't want to waste time talking about the England squad about that right now. I just want to rein it in for this right now.
Yeah.
And Rafa, yeah, he's proven wherever he goes he gets success because the way he does things, rightly or wrongly. But he's had a hell of a job to do at Newcastle. Who's the manager of the year? Pep, outright.
Do you know what? No, I think manager of the year should be Sean Dyche.
Yeah, well, I think
it depends on what you want, really.
Yeah, because I was just thinking of like a rescue operation. Carval's come in and done wonders because they would have definitely gone down, and it was Swansea was crashing and burning big time.
Oh, massively.
So you got that, but Dyche is really this is the strongest season he's had, but it's because of that ethos really coming through. We discussed this on last week's, didn't we? I
just personally think that if you're looking at who's manager of the year, then
we'll do a little quick 7:45 kick-off then. No. On the anchor, isn't it?
Right, you do this one.
Alright, so on the weekend as well, on the Saturday, we experienced a Saturday night football game at 7:45 at the old Wembley Park, the Wembley with the Wembley. We saw Spurs versus Man City, which was a huge game. It was just to confirm the likelihood of Man City just being one away from that at that time.
Yeah.
But it was a 7:45 kickoff. And I can't think for the life of me how that benefits anyone. And I don't understand at any point in the season that's not been done apart from this game. Now I saw the game, and it's this hard slog going up and down Wembley Way at the best of times when there's about 80,000, 70,000 people coming out like gone 10:30 and being segmented off for security and well-being. I find it tough to get my head around why. Why is there a 7:45 kickoff when there hasn't been across the board?
Yeah.
And is it to experiment? Is it to squeeze in more games? To see the status for next season to see if it works? There's a trial and error sort of thing. There's Man City fans coming from Manchester up and down to get back at that time on a Saturday is asking a lot. I know there's schedule fit-ins and this, that and the other, but this was preset. And I just can't get my head around why there's a 7:45 kickoff.
The only thing that I can think it is again, like you said, with experimenting with times. And
because there's going to be games which get
rescheduled. Bring more revenue. That's what it is. It's to get another, because on Saturday, because they moved that game to 7:45, or it was scheduled in for 7:45, that meant that TV could show 3 games on Saturday. because you had the afternoon kickoff, which I cannot for the life of me now think what the afternoon kickoff was on Saturday. Then you had Liverpool as the 5 o'clock, and then you had Man City Spurs.
Yeah, I just
so you got 3 games on Saturday.
So yeah, just let us know what you think on the old anchors, on the lines, because we just can't get our head around it. And if anyone else thinks any differently, if that does work, but I just see it as a scheduling mishap, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just whatever. See the Arsenal game?
Yeah, I did.
What happened? Was it? Do you know what? He started off really
Mustafi
nicely
had
and positive.
one of the worst games I've seen him have.
I don't think he's that bad. I thought he was dreadful. I just think there was no domination after the 1-0. After the 1-0, you think he's coasting and they'll get another one. And they did the Arsenal thing this year of just not carrying it, not kicking home and got too comfortable. It was just, I don't know, Rafa really, like, I think he got his tactics right, but it's just Arsenal slackness, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was nice to see Willock and the young guns coming out. Again, like we've mentioned before, there's not enough credit for the amount of English talent on show at Arsenal right now.
There's an awful lot.
And do you know what? They would not have got this run out if they weren't doing as badly as they have been. Because what it's afforded them to do is to play those young, raw English players.
Is that noise?
It's someone messaging in. What's the noise? Calm down, Grandad. It's all right. What? So they wouldn't have, if they were competing across all levels, like Arsenal usually do at this time of the season, they wouldn't have had a look in. The fact is, they're getting this really important game time for their careers when they never would, and they probably would have had to go on loan before to do it.
Yeah.
Now, what this system, unfortunately, but fortunately, has led to is the young guns starting more games and getting lots of experience, and who knows what will happen next year if they do kick on. Yeah. You know, you've got
Let's
players.
hope they do kick on. Let's hope they're not being exposed too soon.
I was chatting to my friend on the weekend about Alex Iwobi being a legitimate senior starter right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you rate him.
Yeah, I do rate him.
And he's only come to fruition the last 2 seasons, last season and this season, and he's using sparingly. He can actually be relied upon now, and he's progressing.
Yeah.
So it's like, to see that is really great, and to see Willock starting, like, all right, it didn't come off, but that's not the point. The point is he's getting valuable game time for the level that he's at in his career, and I think that's a great thing. All that Arsenal need to really follow through with this year is getting that cup, because you see teams like Spurs again who haven't won anything. And if they focus on that, like the Man City thing, I remember like people go, "Oh yeah, why can't they do the triple?" Right? Their target, they've hit their target. They've won the Prem, like they've won that. They've won the league. Yeah. If Arsenal carry through with that, guess what? No one's going to bat an eyelid, because it's the same way when they win the FA Cup. Now it's like, oh yeah, but you didn't win this, that, and the other. If they win that, it will be a huge success, because that's the only way they got back into Europe for next season. And dare I say it, do a Man United. Yeah. That'll just bring them back into the mix properly then.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then build on that.
Well, you've got a nice little base there as well. We talked about not only Iwobi. Yeah. Hey, listen, if Cavani comes in. Yeah. But you've got Iwobi, you've got Maitland-Niles, you've got Nelson, you've got...
Nelson, yeah.
You've got
Willock.
Eddie up front, you've got Willock.
Eddie, come on.
Yeah.
Look, these players would not get the game time.
No, you wouldn't.
Do you want to drop anchor of this, or are we good?
No, I
think we're running up to about now. We'll do one more anchor shout out to the 6-yard box. 6-yard bar.
Yeah, we'll do that post.
We'll do that
post. We'll do that in the post mix.
Because we went to a place, guys, in Elephant and Castle, which was a fantastic place. It's like a little village of shipping containers, and it was wonderful. And this place, 6-yard bar, is a bar which has got all kinds of memorabilia. You can still see it on the Instagram.
We got a Panini sticker ceiling.
It's wonderful. It's great, and you saw the aging Wayne Rooney picture.
The Wayne Rooney one was phenomenal.
Yeah, so it's that type of thing. And it's
Check
just,
it out on Instagram at the FIFA Ramble. We posted all the pictures up.
Yeah, it's a great place to be and to talk football and to actually go to a place and just have good beer, have good craft beer, have some food all in one place with all these shipping containers. I think is a thing of the future. That
Yeah, it's good.
And the boys that own it, they do great work. They got BT. They show all kinds of football from all the continent. There's always games on, especially on the weekend. And you just go in there and just chat football, and you can just have a hell of a time. So I think more of those pop-up places are wonderful things, and definitely think something to be to look into. But yeah, if you're in Elephant and Castle, or go if you're in London and thereabouts, you need to go to 6 Yard Bar because it is a cracker. But otherwise, I'm pretty tired now, to be honest with you.
I think we're done. We're done. The only thing I would say now, he's tired, so I'll just say,
tired.
If you haven't already liked our Facebook page, please do. We do a live. We do this every week. We do one live stream. We do a live stream once a week. It's usually around this time, about an hour-ish long. But what we then do, we edit out a lot of the content and we put that into our iTunes. Please go subscribe to iTunes. And on Anchor, if you haven't downloaded the Anchor app, that's a really good way, because what you can do with Anchor is if you listen to our podcast and you want to make a comment, you don't have to type it out. You can actually just do a video. You can send us a voice message. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Download Anchor, and you can send us voice messages on there, and we can then edit those into later podcasts. It's a really good platform. Search the FIFA Ramble on iTunes. Search the FIFA Ramble on Anchor. Search at the FIFA Ramble on Twitter and on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Search us on YouTube, where we're currently doing a Ajax FIFA 18 career modes, which is going really well.
West Brom.
Go search on Twitch, twitch.tv/Calhoun Review. Our friends over at Calhoun Review, that's CALHOUN Review, letting us use their Twitch account to stream West Brom career modes from FIFA 18. Go check all of that out. Follow it. I'll be checking. That's your homework for this week, and we will see you again next week.
Bye, guys. Cheers, guys. Right, do one more of them. On here, looking at the camera, because then you can pedal that yourself. Just stop.